Hi guys, it's Mrs. Hartman. As I've told you, we're going to be leaving fractions behind for now. You've all worked so hard on it, and we're going to be starting our unit on geometry. Yay! So today is our first day, and we're going to begin our unit with a review of vocabulary. I say review because we've already talked about these terms in class during other parts of the year. So a lot of them you will already be familiar with and remember. Now, I've posted this graphic organizer, these guided notes, a blank copy on Google Classroom. So just like last time, you can go ahead and print them if you have a printer. If not, you can copy them into your math notebook and complete them along with me, or you can just watch, and you can watch the video as many times as you need to make sure you understand. So your guided notes don't need to be submitted as part of your assignments. It's just for your use. There might be other times where we will ask you to submit guided notes for us to check, but for today, you don't have to. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Our first geometric term is a point. And the definition of a point is an exact location in space. An example of a point, and you can go ahead and draw this too, looks like a period at the end of a sentence. Our point is labeled point Z, and that's actually what we call it. So if I drew this on the whiteboard and I asked for somebody to tell me what this was, you would raise your hand and you would say, point Z. Simple as that. Okay. Our next geometric term is a line. And a line is a straight path of points that go on in opposite directions. A line looks like this. It has an arrow at both ends to show that it's going on to infinity in both directions. Now imagine that this line is made up of all of these millions and zillions of points all connected together to form one line. That's why it says a line is a straight path of points. Our line is labeled AB. I could also label it BA. It doesn't matter. And to label my line, I need to name the points, and I also need to include a small diagram of the line above those points. If I asked you to tell me what I drew, you would say line AB. Okay, moving on. A line segment. So a line segment is part of a line with two endpoints. Well, what does that look like? It looks like this. That's a line segment. So it's as if we went to our line and we cut a piece out of it. And that is what a line segment is. It's just a part of a line. We label our line segment like this. So we know it's a line segment, not a line. It doesn't have arrows at the end. And again, if I wrote this on the whiteboard and asked you to tell me what it was, you would say line segment CD. And again, you could call it DC. You could call this line BA. Lastly, our last geometric term for today is array. Array is a part of a line that has one endpoint and continues on forever in one direction. Array looks like this. It has one endpoint and it continues on forever in one direction. So we make sure that one end has an arrow. go ahead and label our points on our array, I should say. And it looks like this. You would say this is ray FG. Okay? Now, array doesn't only have one point, it has one endpoint, and the rest is made up of all little points, just like our line. Array can also, and you don't have to draw this, array can also, let me move this out from underneath it for just a minute, array can form an angle, and we will get to that on Friday, but I just wanted to quickly show you. You could have one ray going in this direction, and then another ray going in that direction. And they would share an endpoint, but two different rays make up an angle. But we'll talk more about that on Friday. Okay, back to our vocabulary. Okay, so we've got a point, a line segment, and array. Now, I want you to take the second page of guided notes, or just look on here, where we have some geometric shapes, and I'm going to go ahead and have you label, or you can watch me label and highlight the different geometric terms that we're learning about. So highlight the points in both shapes. Well, if we're talking about points, here's a point, here's a point, here's a point, and I could keep going, right? These are all points in my shape. What about in this shape? Label along with me. These are all my points. Highlight the lines. Well, not all of these are lines, so we need to be careful. So a line is a straight path of points that go on and on forever in opposite directions. So we're looking for two arrows on either end. So we've got this line, and we've also got this one right here. Now, I'm not going to highlight this because it's what? It's a line segment. And this is a ray. One point goes on to infinity in the opposite direction. Okay, down here, we're going to go ahead and highlight the line segments. Line segments. So line segments, it's a part of a line and it has two endpoints. So that's what we're looking for. So we've got this line segment, two endpoints, 1, 2. We've got another line segment here. Here's a line, here's a ray. I'm not going to highlight those. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and highlight the rays. And just like I showed you on that other piece of paper, rays share an endpoint and form an angle. So let's see. We've got this ray, one endpoint going on to infinity in one direction, and we've got this ray going on to infinity in that direction. And they actually have come together to share an endpoint and form an acute angle, but that is a conversation for another day. I'm not going to highlight this because it's what? A line. Exactly. Okay, so this was your introduction to geometry. You have your terms, examples of them, labels for them, and how you refer to them. And then you have some more examples. Again, these can be cut out and put into your notes, or you can write them down and draw them, or you can just watch. So that's your guided notes for today, and you can go ahead and complete your other assignments in math now. Have a great day, guys.